How's it going, everyone? Data here, and welcome back to the next installment of this little mini-series on the 2021 NHL Award nominees. As you may have seen about a month ago, I've already done videos for the 2021 Bill Masterton nominees, as well as the King Clancy nominees. Today will be the 2021 Lady Byng nominees. The Lady Byng Memorial Trophy, obviously given to the most sportsmanlike player, often going to the player who has the best skill coupled with the least amount of penalty minutes, usually around that type of voting process for most voters. As you may have seen, Jaccob Slavin took it by quite a margin. Looking at the votes right here this last season, 827 points with 73 first place votes. Behind him was Jared Spurgeon, and then Austin Matthews narrowly beating out Alexander Barkov for third place. Goes all the way down to 34 spots. So as the NHL awards are starting to be awarded now, as time goes on into the month of June and moving into July, I'm planning on making videos here for Lady Byng, for the Frank J. Selke, for the Hart, possibly for the Norris. Some awards working better than others to create teams, but as many as possible. And as you can see with the 34 nominees here, a team is most definitely possible. I took the first 18, so 12 forwards, 6 defense, maybe not necessarily defense, but the first 18 on the list make it on the team, the cutoff being Patrick Kane, who received 24 points, with his best being 1 second place. Couturier narrowly missing out. But as you can see, there's also a goaltender here. You might be asking, what are we going to do for the goalies? Look at number 21, Marc-Andre Fleury. Somehow he received 2 first place votes. So as much as I love Marc-Andre Fleury, I'm a bit surprised that not only did he get votes, but 2 first place votes. Gives him 20 points. Backing him up will be Henrik Lundqvist, who has received votes in the past. Thanks to Pat for sharing this with me. I believe he's been nominated in a few years before, although not this year, obviously. So he'll be backing up Marc-Andre Fleury. The team, the New York Lady Byngs, I make all of these teams situated out of New York, since that is where the NHL headquarters is. It replaces the Ottawa Senators, since they're the lowest rated team in the NHL in the Eastern Conference here, unfortunately. So that's where they replace them. They're a 95 overall team, but as we have seen before, that doesn't always mean much in the NHL 21 simulation. The rosters are updated to the May 5th update. Owner mode, salary cap, head coach, fog of war, blah, blah, blah. Everything is turned off. Even injuries, because all we want to see is pure simulation. So injuries turned off, waivers turned off, salary cap off, all that stuff. We just want to see how this team does. So the New York Lady Byngs, I chose this logo. It looks like a chivalrous squire of the 16th century, perhaps. So he will be our mascot moving into this one and only season with the franchise. Now, concerning the lines I will be running with these created teams, just to tell you that in this episode and in future award episodes, I'm not going to be going by overall. For example, Patrick Kane was the last player to make the team. I know he's 92 overall, I know he's the best player, but that doesn't mean I want him on the first line cheesing the system. It's going according to the votes. So, Slavin and Spurgeon are on the first defensive pair because they're 1 and 2, but the second forward line will be Matthews, Barkov, and Panarin, with the second forward line being Hintz, Carlson, and Kopitar, and so on down that list. So when the lines are changed accordingly to reflect those votes, they look like this. And there we go. So Panarin, Barkov, Matthews on the first line, Hintz, Kopitar, Carlson on the second, Atkinson, McKinnon, Goudreau on the third, and Bailey, Scheifele, and Kane on the fourth. If you want to be higher in the lineup, I guess you should have been more sportsmanlike during the season, but they made the team nonetheless. Defense goes Slavin, Spurgeon, Tanev, Pulak, and Schmidt, Makar. +3s on both defensive pairs, so that's pretty good. I decided to no longer touch the coaching either because I don't want to mess up the simulation, giving the team a C-rated coach but good chemistry. I don't want to touch any of that. The chemistry is okay on this team. 0s for the forwards and then plus for the defense. Goalies got Fleury and Lundqvist, and for the special teams, etc., I will not be touching any of that. Lines are set as they are. Injuries off. Goalies will rotate, etc. The assistant coach will not be touching anything. And let's see how this team will do if they can put some scoring behind their sportsmanship, if they can stay low on the penalty minutes as well, and staying out of the box can help to capitalize on some power play opportunities. Don't need to rely on their penalty killers. And let's see how an entire season simulates for the 2021 Lady Byng nominees. What a season for the Lady Byngs, the winningest team in the NHL, despite not winning the President's Trophy, missing out on it by 1 point to the Carolina Hurricanes. It was a 112-point season for the Lady Byngs, going 53, 23, and 6. Lots of goals for the highest scoring team in the NHL, 3.99. 2.72 goals against had them at fourth lowest. Power play at 30.8%, best in the league by a long shot. And penalty killing at 83.8, not too shabby in the top 10. So a great season team-wise for the Lady Byngs. And then when it comes to the scoring, some very nice surprises here. As of course, Austin Matthews leads the way at 92 points in 82 games. Not a huge surprise that someone like him would be up there. Anze Kopitar really surprised me at 88 points in 82 games for him. Nathan MacKinnon, 83 over a point per game, so 3 players over a point per game. Then you got Barkov, Panarin, Kane down on the fourth line. Despite getting just 10.5 minutes a night, he had 34 goals and 64 points. Gaudreau, Scheifele, etc. Slavin, even 44 points for him. Makar, Hintz, all the way down to Nate Schmidt, who had 10 points. What I'm curious about are the penalty minutes here. So all these players did not get many penalty minutes in the actual NHL. Cale Makar ends up only having 2 penalty minutes. One of the last guys to make the team. Gaudreau, McKinnon, Atkinson 6, Kane 10, Panarin 12. Like, what are the discipline ratings on these guys? You got only 83 for Makar, 95 for Gaudreau, 84 McKinnon, 90 for Atkinson, only 70 discipline for Kane, but 10 penalty minutes. Then where's Slavin, the man who won the trophy with only 2 penalty minutes? He got 24 here, and only, I say only, but 90 discipline. Why would you give Gaudreau a 95 but Slavin a 90, right? That's what I don't really get, but that's okay. Goaltending, Marc-Andre Fleury, the only goalie to get votes for the Lady Byng, went 43, 16, and 4 with 4 shutouts. Not the craziest numbers, but still very serviceable and enough to get it done with a high-scoring team like the Lady Byngs here. 905 save percentage, 2.64 goals against. Very similar numbers from Henrik Lundqvist, who went 10, 7, and 2. Very nice record. Great point totals. Pretty disciplined overall, I have to say. Ryan Pulock with his 58 penalty minutes, despite the 90 discipline. Don't know what happened there. Kopitar, Barca, all these guys, the highest guys, the 4 highest penalty minutes, all have between 90 and 95 for discipline. But hey, it makes a lot more sense that Patrick Kane with 70 discipline gets 10 penalty minutes, but a guy with 90 discipline gets 58, right? Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I understand he's a defenseman, blah, 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 but just throwing it out there. Anyways, let's hit the playoffs and see if this team can get it done in the postseason. And in the postseason, it is a tale as old as time. Always year number 1 or 2. The EA simulation loves to give the Toronto Maple Leafs the Stanley Cup as they took down the Jets in 7 games. So the Leafs beat us on the way to the Stanley Cup, beat the Lady Byngs. Lady Byngs beat the Bruins in 6 games in round number 1, then dropped in 7 to the Maple Leafs in round number 2. You can never beat Toronto here in this simulation world, and they even swept the Rangers in the conference final. So hey, Lady Byngs had a solid playoff, but just not enough to get past the overpowered EA-favorited Maple Leafs. Panarin, Kane, and Matthews all scored 12 points in 13 games. Barkov 10, and so on and so forth all the way down. Penalty minutes hey, Slavin led the team in penalty minutes with 16. What? And at the bottom here, we have multiple players with no penalty minutes, so at least a little bit of discipline here in the playoffs. Makar matched a season total of 2. What I really want to see is who won the Lady Byng here in this universe. I really hope it's someone from our team, and it is not. Tyler Seguin wins it. Let's see what Tyler Seguin did this season. Tyler Seguin had 12 penalty minutes and 106 points. So this, in the game, it really weighs point totals compared to penalty minutes a lot heavier than, say, someone who got 80 points and, I don't know, 8 penalty minutes or something. More points, but ratioed with the penalty minutes. Tyler Seguin will win that every time here in this universe. Still a worthy winner. Just disappointing that no one on the Lady Byngs themselves could win it. So there is the experiment, my friends. That is the performance of the 2021 Lady Byng nominees. Let me know what team of nominees for an award that you would like to see next, and I will get that done. Thank you to everyone hanging in there, waiting for the next franchise mode series. If you saw the channel update, you know that everything got wiped here on the PlayStation, unfortunately. But if you're just watching this as a one-off, be sure to subscribe if you'd like to see more of this kind of thing from the channel, including more franchise modes on NHL, including the NHL 07 Dynasty mode, MLB The Show 21 franchise mode, and much more. So, thank you so much for watching. Links for everything you need are down in the description, and I will see you in the next one.